Well, so it is at 11 a.m. when the oath-taking ceremony is going to take place. But for the meantime, let's shift our focus, wherein the chorus for UCC is ringing louder, with BJP MP Kirori Lal Meena introducing a private member's bill on the UCC in Rajya Sabha on Friday. Now, the bill seeks the constitution of a committee to prepare and implement a uniform civil code in the country. However, the move was met with stiff opposition by the parties who sought a vote on the proposed bill. The opposition parties, including the Congress, TMC, DMK, NCP, CPI, IUML and RJD, lodged strong protests against the move, with the leader Ram Gopal Yadav warning of nationwide unrest if UCC was brought into existence. While the opposition continues to protest against the proposed UCC, the Supreme Court at the same time has asked the centre to consider amending the Hindu Succession Act, which disqualifies a scheduled tribe woman from being considered on par with male counterparts in matters of her share in the paternal property. But the irony here is that the opposition has maintained pin-drop silence on the call for reform by the top court. The opposition that has been crying foul and alleging vendetta against Muslims in bringing UCC in the country has not spoken a word on the Supreme Court's call for an amendment in the Hindu Succession Act. The question is, can reforms be selective? Let's first show you what transpired in the House of Elders on Friday.
3 notices. One is given by Sri Vaiko, Sri Abdul Wahab, and a joint notice opposing the introduction of the Uniform Civil Code in India Bill 2020. Dr. Kirori Lal Meena.
I also to introduce the bill. सर कंसिडरेशन के समय मैं इसमें विस्तृत सदन में जानकारी दूंगा, उस समय चर्चा की जाएगी.
They are implementing one after another of the agenda of RSS and BJP. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, kindly see the bill is not introduced today.
I request our honorable member to take back that one. When it is ripe, when the government feels, let them take.
Before beginning such a registration, we should have wide consultation with different communities, with religions, with section of the people.
By imposing your forceful things, you are going to destroy the structure. Therefore, please do not destroy the structure of the country.
If this is the kind of law that is to be brought in, then there will not be any peace in the country.
I would appeal to the House that we let this be introduced. It's the members' right. And when the debate comes up on this subject, of course, everybody has a right to give their point of view. And at that time, it is the property of the House to decide what they have to do.
मैं आग्रह करूंगा किरोरी लाल जी, आपका अपना कद भी बहुत बड़ा है, इसको कृपया पूर्वक वापस ले लीजिए. ये देश हित में नहीं है, ये हमारे सरोकारों के हित में नहीं है, ये हमको एक अंधी खाई में ले जाएगा जहां रोशनी का सुराग नहीं होगा. थैंक यू सर.
Let's now also listen to Ram Gopal Yadav, who warned of a nationwide unrest if the centre decided to bring in a uniform civil code.
और वैधानिक मैंने कहा, मैंने संविधान को कोट किया. ये विधेयक जो इंट्रोड्यूस किया रहा है, ये अपने आप संविधान के खिलाफ है. संविधान ने माइनॉरिटीज के कल्चरल, एजुकेशनल सारी राइट्स को प्रिजर्व और फंडामेंटल राइट्स में डाला था कि अपने को अपने तरीके से मैरिजेस, रिलीजियस सबको मैनेज कर सकें. उसके खिलाफ किया जा रहा है. इट इज अगेंस्ट फंडामेंटल, अगेंस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल, बट दे आर बुलडोजिंग इट. लेकिन ये तो देश में लोगों, अब जब एक बड़ी संख्या में लोग सशंकित हो जाएंगे, उन्हें किसी तरह का डर लगने लगेगा कि हमारी संस्कृति, हमारी प्रॉपर्टी, हमारी रिलीजियस इंस्टीट्यूशंस सबको बर्बाद करने के लिए सब लिए आया जा रहा है, देश के स्वास्थ्य के लिए अच्छा नहीं.
Now, on the other hand, the BJP has slammed the opposition and said that the UCC has nothing to do with any religion. Listen in.
समान नागरिक संहिता का धर्म, रिलीजन या मजहब से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. जो मंदिर जाते थे वो मंदिर जाते रहेंगे, जो चर्च जाते हैं वो चर्च जाते रहेंगे, जो मस्जिद में नमाज पढ़ते हैं वो नमाज पढ़ते रहेंगे. इसका धार्मिक मान्यताओं से कोई संबंध नहीं. समान नागरिक संहिता का सीधा सीधा संबंध महिला के अधिकारों से है, बहन बेटियों को बराबरी का दर्जा देने से. समान नागरिक संहिता जब लागू होगी तो एक पति एक पत्नी का नियम सब पे लागू होगा, यानी 4 शादी वाला नियम बंद होगा, बहुविवाह बंद होगा. समान नागरिक संहिता लागू होगी तो विवाह की जो न्यूनतम उम्र है अभी अलग अलग चल रही है, वो सबकी एक हो जाएगी। वो 20 साल होगी या 21 साल होगी, सबकी एक हो जाएगी। समान नागरिक संहिता लागू होगी तो तलाक लेने का तरीका सबका एक हो जाएगा।
Now, former NCP leader Majid Memon has said that it is for regulation of India's common men, Supreme Court is best to make the distinction between good and evil.
When there is so much noise about uniform civil code being brought in various states and now also in the parliament, this is not something purely political. This is not just as per the whim and fancy and priorities of the political leaders as far as their public life is concerned. This is for the regulation of the lives of millions and millions of Indian people, common men. And therefore I think Supreme Court would be the best place which would appreciate the distinction between the good and evil.
Meanwhile, we also got some reaction from the NHRC side, wherein the chairman Arun Kumar Mishra has said that the time is right to bring the UCC in.
Improving the condition of women in vulnerable sections and in rural areas is needed to ensure equality. Empowerment of women through development and proper education is essential. They cannot be made to suffer discrimination and gender violence for eternity. Without providing dignity and equal rights to them, a celebration of the day is meaningless. The Supreme Court has shown the way for equality by progressive interpretations. Article 44 of the Constitution, enabling equality by enacting a common civil code, should not remain a dead letter.
On the other hand, the NCW chief has also said that laws for women, irrespective of their religion, must be the same. Listen in.
As far as the welfare of women are concerned, or laws related to women, has to be same, whether they are Muslim, Christians, Hindu, because how come a thing which is good for a woman of one religion is not good for other, and why only Muslim women should suffer all these things. So I thought this is the high time that we should change the laws, and the laws should be similar for every woman.
Bringing in my colleague Sabyasachi with the phone line. Sabyasachi, UCC bill has been tabled in the Sansad. However, even as we speak of the political slugfest, the Saffron Party has come forward questioning opposition's silence when it comes to Supreme Court's observation on the Succession Act.
Well, absolutely. See, the centre has questioned the opposition silent on Supreme Court, and the centre believes that the personal laws based on religion are an affront to the nation's unity, but adds that the Uniform Civil Code will ensure the integration of India by bringing different communities on a common platform. However, it has maintained that only elected representatives and the legislature will decide whether the country should have a UCC rather than involving a court in it. And the critics have termed the code as anti-minority, and the opposition parties believe that a law like the UCC goes against the values of unity in diversity prevalent in India. And several opposition leaders have said that the code is a code that is yet to be determined whether it affects human rights or not. Certain social groups are of the view that a potential UCC could affect their customs and religious practices. But in 2018, the Supreme Court has clearly stated that the Law Commission examined the code and deemed it unnecessary and undesirable, where they have said that this particular decision needs to be reviewed.
All right. Thank you, Sabyasachi, for joining in and sharing all those updates. But let's move on. And